Blue. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep, it is. Welcome to Tuesday morning. My name is Kat, and I'm going to be guiding you through this practice. Like always, I want you to listen to the signals that our bodies are giving us, whether we're injured or we're just dealing with our own gunk for the day. It's really important to just continually come back to what it feels like to be you in this moment. So today's practice, we're centering around mindfulness, and I know we always want to have that inward introspection, but today we're really going to be focusing in on it. So let's get into a comfortable position, whether you want to be lying down on your back or seated. And before you get into your still position, you can start to close your eyes or keep a soft focus and just start to move around. So you can start to move the head. You might even offer just a couple twists, just to tap into what it feels like to be you right now, noticing any sensations that arrive. And then as you start to settle in and sink in, you can find your own stillness. Notice what it feels like for the eyes to be closed or to have a soft focus. What it feels like for you to just take in whatever there is to take in. As we arrive at this present moment, we notice how sleep or maybe lack of sleep has affected us. The effort it took for us to arrive, or maybe the ease it took for us to get here today. And whatever or wherever you are on that scale of effort and ease, I want you just to thank yourself for showing up. Notice the space between your furrowed brow, and I want you to soften it. Notice any kind of residue of tension within the brow, and let it soften down through the cheeks. Let it relax and release down through the neck, the shoulders, through the chest, down into the belly. Everything becomes soft and pliable. Down through the hips, the glutes, the legs. Noticing the bottoms of your feet and the palms of your hands. Imagine you're opening all the doors and windows of your senses, so there is this arrival that we have with the warm air coming in and the beautiful sun that we've had over the past few days. It's almost like we're opening all of our windows, letting the fresh air back into home. So it's that kind of idea that we take with us. Letting new gusts of air, New freshets of wind come into this body. Now notice the breath. Where does the breath go right now? Where does the breath flow to? And if there's any tender areas that we have within our body or within our heart, I want to encourage you to send some of that breath to our more vulnerable places. And just let the air curl around, metaphorically or even with that symbolism, to just offer lots of love. Lots of love to places that feel sore. Give yourself just a few more rounds of breath. As the body slows, the mind can start to quicken. And I want to encourage you to just stay back in this present moment, to just be here now. Giving yourself another round of breath, inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose as well. And if you're already on your back, you just start to draw those knees in. And if you're not, we'll slowly make our way onto our backs. And as you make your way onto your back, just letting those knees curl into the chest, circling out the ankles. Even letting those knees splay open a little wider can feel really good. And once you're in that position, you might even choose to rock a little bit side to side. And if you want to bring one leg up to the sky, keeping the other one bent, and then just drop that extended leg off to the side. That can feel really good for an opener within the extended leg inner thigh. And then you can try it with the other side. Just seeing what's going on with the body today. The seasonal changes can affect us more than you might even know. And so it's just for us to find this source, this tapping back into the source. Slowly, we're going to bring the left foot down to the ground. And we're going to extend the right leg up to the sky. From here, I want you to press your lower back into the mat and press into that left heel. Your hands can go by your side. Now, if you find that by drawing your abs in, your chin is lifting or you're doing excess work with the upper body, bring your head on a pillow or a block. It can really help support the body. On your inhale, I want you to flex the foot and lower the leg down to the front of your mat to a hover. When you get to that hovering position, point the toe, draw the abs in a lot, and lift that leg back up to the sky. As you inhale, flexing the foot, keep drawing the abs in. And then when it's at that hover, draw those abs in. Find that connection, leg lifts up. So we're moving nice and slowly. And I like to imagine my foot is like a paintbrush. So I'm flexing as I come down, and I point as it comes up. You might notice the hip flexor starting to get a little bit of awareness. You might notice the core having that beginning stages of connection. So how much energy you put into it is completely up to you. But I want to encourage you not to bypass the uncomfortable or not to let ego get too far ahead of us, because even in the smallest of places, we can find the biggest amount of strength. One more time. Lowering down. See if you really have that core connection the whole time. And then lifting to come up. Once that leg's up in the air, interlace your hands behind the back of the leg. Now you can circle out the ankle, going in both directions. You can flex and point the toes, the heel. Notice where tension resides and where it starts to become soft. Take a deep breath in and out. Release the hands from behind the back of that right leg and bring right ankle on top of the left thigh. Coming into our figure 4 stretch, use that right hand and press the right leg away from the hip side or higher up to the knee, as long as there's no pressure within the knee. See what it feels like to release the leg away. And then we'll find the exact opposite, keeping that cross, keeping the curl, hug the legs in towards the chest. So as we hug those legs into the chest, you can rock a little bit side to side, and you can breathe, taking a deep breath in and out. Now relaxing the left foot down to the ground, bring your right knee into the chest. When removing pose, the grasped fingers go on top of that right shin. Now you have an option here. You can extend that left leg down, and you can rock the right leg from side to side a few times. Noticing where there's sensation, how it evolves, where it dissolves, where it stems from. And then the next time you bring that knee to the outside of the right ribs, I want you to hold it there and try to compress into the hip flexor. Now notice that left leg. Maybe you want to stretch it a little bit further, and you're creating your own traction in your body. Take a deep breath in. And then on your exhale, you're going to release the right hand and cross the right knee over to the left. Now, how far you go is completely up to you. If you want to go all the way and lift that right shoulder up, go for it. See what feels right for you in this moment. Now, as an extra added bonus, if you want, you can start to play around with straightening the right leg off to that left side and bending it a few times. Always notice where those threads of tension press, make themselves known, and then when they release. That mindfulness cues us into our body so much. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center. We're going to drop the right foot down on the ground, and we're going to lift that left leg straight up to the sky. Hands come by your sides, and we'll come onto that other side. So again, paying attention, lower back presses into the mat, relax the shoulders, maybe head on a block or a pillow, flexing that foot. And on your inhale, lowering that leg down to a hover. When something feels easy for the body, this is a perfect chance to focus on form. What are you actually doing? So your last movement should be just as comfortable, just as clean, just as strong looking as your first. And there's no such thing as movements that are too easy, quote unquote. It just means we can add more. There's more for us to layer into. Use that breath, press into the right heel to support the body, draw those abs in, especially as the leg lifts up. Perfect opportunity to make sure that form is there. Use your breath. See if you can take away extra stress in other places of the body and bring it right back to the core. You have 2 more times. About moving at your own pace. Maybe you notice the texture underneath the right foot. Always focusing on where it is the mind goes, and does it need to be there? Now the next time that leg's up to the sky, interlace your hands the weird way behind the back of that left leg. You can circle out the ankle, going in both directions. You can flex and point and flex and point. Maybe even saying, thank you, toes. Thank you, foot. Thank you, body. That just does. That's here right now. And regardless of the movement we make, regardless of it all, it's here with you throughout your whole life. Relax the tension from the back of the leg and bend the knee. Bring that left ankle on top of the right thigh, and then use that left hand. Press the hip away. And I personally like to offer a little bit of rocking here, side to side. Helps my lower back. And we'll come into center. Keeping the cross, hug those legs into the chest. Now you could grab on behind the back of the right leg. I personally grab onto my left knee and my left foot. It makes it so my arms don't have to reach as far and my shoulders don't have to do as much work. So just notice how we adjust our bodies. Instead of just becoming, I'm going to say the word complacent, but I mean coming by habit. Just go by sensation instead. Try something new. Take a deep breath in and out. Now we'll release that right foot down. And we're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest. Interlace your hands the weird way on top of that left shin. And then extend the right leg down the mat. Wind removing pose, rock the left knee from side to side. And again, if you want to recircle out the ankle, I say go for it because it's different each position we get in. Our mechanics of our body changes. Now maybe the next time the knee is to the left of the ribs, you might try to extend that right leg a little bit further, feeling that stretch coming from the top of the hip flexor, feeling the compression within that left hip flexor, feeling opening in the glutes. A lot can start to evolve in this position. Take a deep breath in. And then when you're ready, release the left hand down and cross the knee over to the right. And again, going only as far as it feels comfortable. And you might take that left shoulder up off the mat for a ride if that feels like where you want to go. Or you may keep it on the ground and keep the knee higher. Wherever you are, you might play around with straightening and bending into the left knee, flexing the foot, getting some blood flow into areas that maybe they haven't received much love this morning. Take a deep breath in and out. Now we'll come back to center, bending both knees, squeezing them into the chest, give them a nice little love. Now hands can go behind the backs of the knee pits, and you can rock forwards and backwards. If that doesn't feel right for you, you might choose to come up in a way that feels best for you. And then once we come up into seated, notice how things might have changed from a few minutes ago. Start to just circle out the neck a few times. Circle out the shoulders, maybe letting the head go from side to side as we circle out the shoulders. On your inhale, taking those arms, reaching them up to the sky. Interlacing them, bringing the palms down to the chest, and then press the palms forward as you reach the back away from those hands. Inhale, the arms reach up to the sky, and then on your exhale, let that right hand come down, and that left arm is reaching up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. So find a nice long stretch within the body, rolling right shoulder back, and then just gently peel the chest up to the sky. Notice how that might change where you feel this sensation. On your inhale, we're going to come up nice and slowly. Again, interlacing the palms, press them up. And then on your exhale, release that left hand and reach up. Find length and dial that right shoulder back. Maybe you're kind of looking up towards the ceiling. Maybe lift the corners of your mouth. Notice how that can change everything. Inhale, torso comes up, deep breath. Palms come to heart space on your exhale. Pausing here for a second, may we stay connected to this present moment. May we stay connected to our breath. May we be a sponge so that excess water can be squeezed from us, but that we can take in, saying yes, saying yes. Let your hands come forward, roll over the shins or kick them off to the side. We'll come into our tabletop position. And as we come into tabletop, you might tent the fingers, fist the hands, finding any place that feels okay for you and for your body. Letting the tailbone start to lift, the belly lower, the chest broadens towards the front of the mat. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. On your exhale, round the back, press it up to the sky, bringing your chin to your chest. On your inhale, lifting tailbone, opening up the heart, maybe wagging your puppy dog tail from side to side. And on your exhale, rounding the back, bringing your chin to your chest. One more time, lifting the tailbone, softening the elbows, front of the arms to the front of your mat. And exhale to round. Inhale, pressing back into child's pose, extending those arms as far forward as it feels comfortable. Pausing here for the exhale. On your inhale, I want you to reach those arms as far forward as you can. And then on your exhale, I want you to walk the hands over towards the right side, pressing that left hand a little bit further off to the side of the mat. And maybe even encouraging that left hand to press deeper into the mat as you draw that left shoulder down. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, coming back to center. And on your exhale, walking those hands over to the left side. This time it's going to be that right palm, maybe pressing it a little further down into the mat, as maybe you encourage that right shoulder to sink deeper into the mat. Take a deep breath in and out. On your inhale, coming back to center, and exhale right here. Knowing child's pose is always here for you if you ever need it. Inhale, pressing yourself up into your tabletop position, tucking those toes, lifting those hips back and up. So if down dog is not in your wheelhouse for today, you can open up the feet a little bit wider, coming onto fingertips, and that can be our modification. So you don't have to have so much pressure on the palms. Now start to pedal out the feet, bending one knee, bending the next, finding some movement within the hips, shaking out the head yes and no, letting there be as much movement or as much stillness as you need. Maybe you bend your knees and try to lift your tailbone higher up to the sky. Taking a deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, we're going to take that right leg and lift it up to the sky. And then on your exhale, we're going to step the foot towards the front of your mat. Now we're going to walk our hands and our feet over towards the left side, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Yeah, so as we come into our forward fold, you might walk your hands over to the right, bending the right knee, and then over to the left, bending the left knee. So a lot of times we reserve this kind of movement towards the end of practice, but why not do it somewhere else? You know, if yoga is all about like little Lego blocks that we're putting together, maybe we're creating a different picture for today. As we do every single day, give yourself another breath. We'll come into center. And then we'll bend those knees, gently rolling up to standing. As we roll up to standing, we're going to take all toes and bring them to the front of your mat. You can step that left foot forward, lifting up the heel. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky. On your exhale, bend that right knee. Hands come down. Step both feet to the back of your mat, plank. As we hold in plank, squeeze those quads, tuck the pelvis. Look down, create space between your shoulders and your ears. Now you can lower down onto your knees at any point, right? On your exhale, we're gonna draw the elbows in towards our ribs as we lower as slowly as we can down to the mat so that the chest hits before the belly. Now at the bottom, squeeze the glutes, squeeze your quads, inhale, lift head, shoulders off the mat. On your exhale, release down. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Inhale, press yourself up, tabletop. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, shake out, head, wiggle the hips. On your next inhale, you're going to take that left leg, reach it up to the sky. And on your exhale, we'll step that foot to the front of our mat, squeezing those inner thighs in towards each other, shaking out the head. Slowly walk hands over to the right side. Toes too, so they can come around for the ride. And then again, if you want to find those side-to-side lunges, just letting the body feel this organic pull, either bending or straightening as much as it feels comfortable for you. Maybe being in a wide-legged forward fold in stillness is what feels right for you today. If you are doing those side-to-side motions, you might even try twisting towards that bent knee, seeing what that feels like. Just giving yourself freedom to explore. And when you're ready, coming back into center, shaking the head yes and no. Bending those knees, rolling to come up. As we roll to come up, all toes to the front of your mat. Lifting up right heel. Sweep the arms up to the sky. On your exhale, bending into the left knee. Hands come down to the front of the mat. Step both feet to the back of your mat. Come into your plank. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes. Do you want to be on your knees? Go for it. You want to be on your toes? Go for it. On your exhale, draw the elbows into the ribs, come down all the way to the belly. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze the quads, inhale, head, shoulders lift up, gaze stays down. Once you're here, look over the left shoulder, look over the right. And on your next exhale, releasing down. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, push up, tabletop. Exhale, press back, come into your downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Take 2 breaths. And 1 more breath. Get your feet together at the back of your mat, and on your inhale, you're going to extend that right leg up to the sky. On your exhale, we're going to step that foot towards the front of our mat. Anchoring the left hand into the mat, slowly extend right arm up to the sky, finding your twist. Take a deep breath in right here. Drop those hips down. See if that feels okay for you. Hold here for that exhale. Slowly, from here, we're going to let the torso lift up. Still twisted. See what that feels like. On your next exhale, we're going to blossom open into our warrior 2. So torso faces the front, Drop your left heel over to the right side. Yeah. So go in the same direction. Start to circle those shoulders back and around. Maybe bending the arms, finding movement. Reaching forwards and backwards. What's happening with the front knee? What's happening with the back leg? On your inhale, sweep right hand up to the sky. Now that left hand can go anywhere that feels comfortable, half bind or down to the left leg. Take your breath so it goes into any of those tighter places. On your next inhale, come on back, warrior two. And on your exhale, right elbow comes down, left arm sweeps forward. Come into your extended side angle. Beautiful. We're going to hold this for 3 breaths. So as you're reaching forwards, as you're finding that twist, letting the left shoulder dial back, I want you to breathe. I want you to lift the corners of your mouth to honor where you are right now. So tuck the pelvis. To come up, we're going to use those left obliques. Inhale, torso comes up nice and slowly. On your exhale, spiral your hands to the front of your mat, lifting up the left heel. Step right foot back to meet the left, plank. Holding into our plank, squeeze those quads, squeeze the glutes. On your exhale, high plank to low plank, either halfway down or all the way down. Inhale to either upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, we'll find ourselves in down dog. You can always go into child's pose if that felt good for you. 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Coming into down dog, getting feet together at the back of the mat. On your inhale, we're going to take that left leg, reach it up to the sky. On your exhale, step the foot towards the front of your mat. So if you need blocks, you can bring it underneath the right hand, and then slowly spiral, if you can, the left arm up to the sky, or anywhere that feels comfortable. Maybe you drop those hips down, relaxing into the left toes. Notice where the body goes. Take 1 more breath in. And out. Now, keeping this twisted position, let the torso lift up. Yeah. Funky balance, right? We're going to evolve into our warrior two. So face forward, drop right heel over to the left, spiral open. Once you're here, circle out the shoulders. Create as big of movements as you feel comfortable. And then we'll find our warrior two. Sinking deeper into that left knee, stacking it. Flip left hand up to the sky and then reach it up. Find this broad, embodied person that you are. On your next inhale, coming back, warrior two. And on your exhale, left elbow down, right arm up to the sky, or any variation. Maybe you're reaching to the front to where the ceiling and the wall meet in front of you. Maybe you're reaching straight up to the sky. Maybe you're finding a half bind or a full bind. Where does your practice take you? And maybe why? Feels good? Feels like a challenge? What is your why? So if you are in a bind, we'll release it using those right obliques. Inhale, torso comes upright. On your exhale, we're going to face to the front of the mat, spiral the hands down, lift those hips, step that left foot back to meet the right plank. Holding in our plank, squeeze those quads, squeeze those glutes. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Halfway down or all the way down, dealer's choice. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, we'll find ourselves into our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. Bending those knees, I want you to look forward. Walk, hop, or step your feet to the front of your mat. You can bring elbows onto thighs, or you can find any kind of forward fold uttanasana that feels right for you. Maybe grabbing onto opposite elbows, shaking out the head yes and no. Give yourself one more breath right here. Releasing those hands, bending those knees. On your inhale, we'll roll up to standing, circling those arms up to the sky, finding gratitude. Exhale, bring that gratitude right back to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace them on top. Press palms straight up to the sky. Now on your exhale, tip over to the right. So if having these hands interlaced doesn't feel right for you, you can always release the right hand down, right? You don't have to hold it in this position. Maybe pressing the hips slightly over to the left. Get a little bit more opening. Inhale, torso comes up, arms up to the sky. Exhale, over to the left. Press the hips over to the right a little bit. Root down into both of your feet. Soften what there is to soften and activate what there is to activate. Only you know that. Inhale, torso comes up, slide the hands behind the back of the head. Now bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, and lean the head back into that little hammock that you've created with your fingers. Take a deep breath in. Notice what it feels like to have this kind of exposure, this opening in our throat, in our chest, two places that are very vulnerable. Having a voice. Inhale, bring that torso up, reach the arms up to the sky. Now on your exhale, bend your knees, bring your elbows down onto the thighs. So we're in this little modified squat, our little utkatasana, kind of, with an asterisk. Now, we are going to take our left elbow and bring it on top of the left knee, and even inside maybe start to spiral the right arm up to the sky. So we twist. Now if that feels like too much for the shoulder, then you can always bring your elbow back onto the thigh. Perfect place. You don't have to be inside. Sink those hips down more. Take a deep breath in. And then on your exhale, release that right arm down. Bring it on top of the knee, sink down a little bit lower, all right? And then slowly spiral left arm up to the sky. So as we spiral the left arm up to the sky, maybe bringing the arm into a lengthened position to inside of that right knee. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, releasing it down. Letting the hands come down, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the head. On your inhale, hands come to the shins. Come into your halfway lifted position. And on your exhale, hands come down to the ground. Step your feet to the back of your mat. Plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, high plank to low plank. All the way down or halfway down. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale to your down dog. Do tabletop or not. Take a deep breath in and out. Take that right leg. Inhale, lift it up to the sky. On your exhale, bring it over to the right elbow. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, over to the left elbow. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, we're going to bring it down into the center. We're going to drop the knee down. We're going to find a modified side plank. So allowing for, are you okay? We're going to take and bring right leg up to the sky. And then step it to the front of your mat. Slowly let that torso lift up. Circle at the wrist. Doing okay? Don't lie to me. So from here, take a deep breath in. On your exhale, we're going to bring that left knee into the chest, drawing those elbows back. Inhale, step back, sweep the arms up. And exhale, knee into chest, stand up tall. 2 more times, step back. And push forward. And last time, step it back, reach it up, and step it forward. Pause right here. Roll those shoulders down and back, lift up through the crown of the head. Find as much length as you can right here. Now we can take and bring our right hand to the outside of our left knee and twist to the left side. Take a deep breath in and out. Coming back into center, torso neutralizes. On your exhale, we're going to bring that left foot to the inside of the right leg, finding our tree. So as we find our tree here, notice where our balance goes, and I'll distract you for a moment or two. So this past weekend, big surprise, I went hiking. I'm now into doing the 52 waves with a view that are in New Hampshire. And these mountains all have a goal, which is to see these gorgeous views. And as I was walking around, slowly bring that knee forward, drop the foot down on the ground, I guess continue. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. Palms swing behind the back of the head, lean back into the arms. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And exhale, hinge down through the center, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. And exhale, release down, hands to the ground. Step your feet to the back of your mat. Do you want to do a push-up? Go for it. If you don't have to. High plank, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to your down dog. Feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale, take that left leg, reach it up to the sky. And on your exhale, bring the knee over to the left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale straight down. We're going to find our modified side plank. Drop the right heel to the left side and lift the right arm up to the sky. You can always kick that bottom foot back if that's what feels right for you. Give yourself 2 breaths right here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale, releasing right hand down, stepping the foot back. Come into your down dog, lifting again that left leg up to the sky, and then stepping it to the front of your mat. Reach those arms back, sweep them up. Yeah, relax your front toes. Take a deep breath in right here. And on your exhale, we're going to bring that right knee into the chest. Draw those elbows back. Inhale, step it back. Notice how you move, sweeping those arms up. And then exhale, knee into chest. Stand up tall. 3 more times. Step back, sweep up, broaden the chest. Exhale, knee into chest. Stand up tall. Step back. 2 more times. Reach it up. And exhale, knee into chest, stand tall. Last time, step back, sweep it up. Knee into chest, stand tall. Pause here, relax those left toes. You're going to take that left hand, bring it to the outside of the right leg, and twist open to the right side. On your inhale, we'll slowly come back to center. And then we're going to find our tree, letting the right foot open anywhere that feels comfortable. 2 balances in a row. So as I was coming down, we did Welsh Sticky, which is phenomenal hike. There was a younger couple in front of us, like 50 feet or so. And I watched as they were coming down. And the girl had the most splendid tripping and falling glide down. And I mean it in the most sincere way possible, because she caught herself at the end. And I said something, I was like, that was glorious. You looked amazing. She's like, no, that was so stupid. It was just around people. And I go, but you didn't fall. So it's funny, release the leg, lower it down, open up the arms. How sometimes one person's success, bring those hands together around the back, is another person's failure. To me, she won. Inhale, open up the chest, broaden it, and exhale to round. Inhale, sweep those arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge down through the center, forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. And exhale, release. Hands to the ground, step feet to the back of your mat, plank. You don't have to do this, right? But do you want to? Shift forward. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale to cobra, up dog. And then exhale to your down dog. Take that right leg, inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, step it forward. Drop the left heel down. We're going to come on up to our warrior 1. So maybe this warrior 1, elbows are open, chest is broad. Notice where your feet are, that right foot facing forward, left foot turned open to the front left corner of your mat. Just for fun skis, reach those arms up. And exhale, shift forward, come into our warrior 3 or our airplane. Dealer's choice of what feels right for you. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly let that torso lift up. Bent knee left comes into chest. Hands to hips. Start to stretch that foot forward. Take a deep breath in here. And on your exhale, lower it down. Lift the heels up. And then exhale, drop the heels down. Elbows come onto the thighs. Little supported Utkatasana, chair pose. Rolling up to standing. Interlace those hands behind the back. Let the feet open about hips distance apart, relaxing shoulders away from the ears. Now option, hands can stay close to the glutes or they can reach further away. And then when you're ready, start to bend those knees, hinge forward. But how often is it in life when we've been complimented on something we've done, the exact opposite comes in and we put ourselves down for it? One person's success might be another person's failure. But the thing is, what if they're all successes? Release the hands down to the ground, shaking out the head, yes and no. Because it is, we're just living our lives. Bend those knees, roll up to standing. Circle, sweep arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to our heart space. Bend those knees, circle those arms up to the sky. Get dramatic. Exhale, hinge, forward, forward fold. Slide your hands to your shins, come into your halfway lifted position. And on your exhale, hands to the earth, step back into your plank or hop back. High plank, low plank, up dog or cobra, that's my choice. And exhale to your down dog. Pedal the feet, deep breath in and out. Take that left leg, swing it up to the sky, and on your exhale, step that foot towards the front of your mat. Drop the right heel down into our warrior one. Finding your foundation, maybe close your eyes for a second. Notice the textures you can feel under your feet. How can you reach further down, feeling the ground underneath the mat? Tapping into the way our heart beats. Now you can do anything with those arms that feel right for you for our last breath before we swing them up. Now when you're ready, inhale, sweep those arms up. And on your exhale, hinge forward, warrior three, airplane. But at the end of the day, we were all climbing to the top, climbing to the tops of these mountains. So regardless of a slip, of a fall, of a misstep, we get to see these views. We get to do the hard thing, not because it's easy, but just because we're traveling and exploring our life. Slowly bend the knee, torso comes upright, right knee into chest. I don't know if there's a point to all of this life. The point is just to lead a good life. Bring your hands to your hips. Let it be fulfilling to you. As you kick that right leg forward, how do you find your fulfillment? Slowly bending the knee, releasing right foot down to the ground. Lift those heels. And then exhale, elbows come to thighs, come into your supported forward fold. Relax the torso down, shake out the head, yes and no. Bending the knees, rolling up to standing. Sweep those arms up to the sky. This time, exhale, right hand comes down, left hand sweeps up and over to the right side. Inhale up, and exhale over to the left. Inhale up, and exhale, release those hands down, interlace them again behind the back, hug those shoulder blades away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. Now either stay here, or if you want, exhale, hinge forward, arms sweep up to the sky. Shaking out the head, yes and no. Maybe getting those shoulders away from the ears, or letting them sink. Just to lead a good life. And it all comes back to this mindfulness, what's happening in this present moment. Relaxing the hands down to the ground. Bending those knees, rolling up to standing. Sweep those arms up. Now as you exhale, take all that good stuff around you and just let it come back to you. Palms facing into the body. Scan the body. This is called washing your body in chi. We're going to do it 2 more times. So inhale, sweep those arms up. And on your exhale, just take all that good stuff and just shine it back on you, starting with the head, scanning down the body. We're going to do it 1 more time when you're ready. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And exhale, let it just scan. Releasing into your Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, dramatically hinge down through the center. Hands to shins, halfway lift. And on your exhale, release down, feet to the back of your mat. This time, we're gonna come down to the ground and we're gonna stay. Okay? So find your slowest motion that feels okay for you. Draw those elbows in. Fight gravity as you come down. Nice. Nice. Once you're down here, bring your hands underneath your head, stack them, use the hands for a pillow. Windshield wiper feet side to side. Gets a little bit of movement within the lower back. You know, and for each one of us, that's what we're trying to explore. So maybe the mountaintop isn't what we're adventuring for. Maybe for each one of us, our mountaintop, our hike is something different. You know, it's the community that we have. It's in our family, our friends. It's what brings us enjoyment, what brings us happiness, what brings us love, passion. Release the left leg down. Use that right hand to grasp onto the foot or the pant leg or a sock or a strap or a towel or anything you need, and just encourage that right hip flexor to press down in towards the mat. And as you do that, if it feels like too much pressure on the right knee, think more about pressing the hip flexor down than bringing the foot towards the glute. Find that edge of comfort and discomfort. In comfort, we can find a way that life, the journey, feels very manageable. It feels good. We can learn and grow from those places, but it's out of discomfort where we glean a lot of introspection. We notice how we react in these situations. Take one more breath. And on your exhale, release the foot down. Bring that right hand as a pillow if you need it. Kick the left foot in towards the glute and use that left hand to grab onto the foot. Again, pressing that left hip flexor down in towards the mat. Think about lengthening the quad rather than trying to create strong pressure in the knee. Soften the jaw, soften the shoulders. So many places in the body that love to help. And we say, thank you, body. Take a deep breath in. And out. And 2 more breaths at your own pace. And slowly releasing that left foot down. Now, we're going to come into half frog on the right side. So you're going to bring your right hand palm down under the shoulder. You're going to roll onto the left side and sweep that right leg up to the right side. So it's at a 90-degree angle on the right side. And the inside of your foot is also facing down in towards the ground. Now you could stay up higher on that left side if it feels too tight here, or you can encourage the chest to sink down towards the mat. And this is one of those postures that it could feel very strong or it could feel almost like nothing happening here. And what's interesting is sometimes when we don't have a ton of resistance, that's where more can open up because the body's already comfortable. So it's that yin to the yang of being comfortable in a place, right? Some of us sleep this way, so it can be really comfortable. Wherever you are, just give yourself about 2 breaths and see if you can really focus on softening the body as much as possible. Find 1 more breath. To come out of this, you can press into that right palm, roll onto that left side, and sweep that right leg back. Now right hand can come up into that half TSA position, sweep, shifting the weight over to the right side, and kicking that left knee up at a 90-degree angle off to the side. You can just rest here. Notice if it feels at ease, or where there's resistance. And resistance doesn't have to be a physical thing, it could be a mental thing. Give yourself another 2 breaths. Now to come out of this, we're going to push into that left palm and kick that right leg back. Now from here, we're going to take that right hand and you're going to sweep it over to the left side of your mat. Let's see if this makes sense. And then we're going to roll onto our backs. And because we probably made our way off of the mat, just kind of shimmy yourself back onto the mat. No big deal, right? Yeah. Now, hands are going to go behind the back of the head in this position. And we are going to lift our head and shoulders off of the mat. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. Yeah. Yep. And then with the head and shoulders lifted, you're going to then draw those abs in and lift your feet off the mat. Now, keeping that core tracked in, lower the feet down to the mat with control, and then lower the head and shoulders. So lift the head and shoulders, lift the feet, lower the feet, lower the head and shoulders. Lift the head and shoulders, lift the feet, lower the feet, lower the head and shoulders. And lift the head and shoulders, lift the feet with control, lower the feet with control, lower the head and shoulders. Head, feet, feet, and head. And head, higher, feet, lower the feet, head. Lift the head and shoulders higher, lift the feet higher, lower them with control, lower the head. One more time, head, shoulders, feet, lower, and lower. Hug those knees into the chest. Let them rock a little bit side to side. Recircle out those ankles. Come back to this present moment. We're going to reverse it. So feet come down to the mat. Hands and just the hands go behind the back of the head. Press the lower back into the mat. Lift the feet. Lift the head. Lower the head. Lower the feet. Keep the abs in, lift the feet, lift the head, lower the head, lower the feet. Lift the feet, keeping the core drawn in, lift the head and shoulders, lower the head and shoulders, keep the abs in, lower the feet, abs in, lift the feet, lift the head, lower the head, core, lower the feet. Last 2, lift the feet, head and shoulders, head, shoulders down, and knees and toes. Last time, toes lift, head lifts as high as you can, lower the head, lower the feet. Let the knees windshield wiper side to side, rock them, roll them, do what feels right for you in your back and your body. Now we're going to grab onto a block We're going to bring it underneath our sacrum. If you don't have a block, no worries. You don't have to use a block. You can come into full shoulder stand if that's what feels right for you, or you can use a pillow. So lowering our sacrum down onto the block. I'll do it with just a supported positioning first. Once you're up here, you can lift the feet up to the sky. If you're coming into full shoulder stand, you get the hands by your side. You hug those knees into the chest. And then you walk those hands to the lower back and you lift the feet straight up to the sky. Those elbows come in towards each other. You can kind of play around with any of these positionings. Legs can open. And you can just breathe. Just letting the weight of the legs, letting the feet that do so much for us all day, let them have a little bit of rest. Taking a deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, finding your release down onto the ground. If you have the block, removing the block. Giving those knees a big squeeze into the chest. And then we'll drop them over to the right side, finding any kind of twist that feels right for you. And letting the knees lift one at a time or both together, going on to the other side. So as we go on to the other side, finding freedom within the lower back and the hips. As the practice becomes slower at the end, it's always just noticing the distractions that start to pop up. Distractions of what's yet to come in our day. And I encourage you to stay present within this moment, regardless of the laundry list of things that have to come. They'll come. But why not relish within this moment? Starting to let those knees lift up. Giving them a squeeze into the chest. And when you're ready, allowing for your body to come into your Shavasana. Noticing what it is that we're still hanging on to. And if there's any thoughts that come unwanted, unneeded, unbidden, I encourage you just to even imagine you're picking that thought out of your brain and just putting it next to you. And we'll consider these words by Donna Falls. Meditation. A touch, like a whisper of a wing feather at the top of the head. There is a hint of energy moving, and closed eyes rise to follow. This is such a subtle shift. It's easy to miss, simpler to say, it's just a current of air. But no. The upward pull will not be denied. There is within a caged bird longing to fly, a spark that knows it's part of a sacred fire, a soul that yearns for home and freedom, and senses an infinite possibility of both in moments like this, when a golden silence holds the whole world in its thrall. And the only sound, the rise and fall of breath. Notice your body on the ground. The rise and fall of the belly. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. And just take your time to find some movement. Maybe letting the fingers wiggle, the toes wiggle as we greet this body. Rocking over to one side or the other to find a fetal position if you choose, or staying just as you are. And then when you're ready, you can use your top hand to press yourself up to seated if you choose. Bringing your hands to stack on your heart space. May we continually find connection, human connection through this community. May we trust within our own journey. May we trust the process. May we stay connected to this present moment. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope this practice had an impact on you today. It was an honor to get to spend my day with you. All that I am bows so deeply to every single part in you. Namaste.